I cannot believe I am awake this early, but today I am in Thailand and I'm going to be visiting the Sanctuary of Truth. The Sanctuary of Truth is this stunning, ginormous wooden building in the south of Thailand that, fun fact, was not made with a single metal nail. It is all wooden joinery. But we're not here to talk about touristy aspects of this building. We're not really here to talk a lot about history or the meaning of the art, although I will touch on that a little bit. What we're here to talk about are the controversies surrounding this building and the potentially questionable ethics of this building that are questionable to this very day. Let's dive in. In this video, we're going to cover history, design, some of the controversies surrounding the creation of this building, and ethical considerations, and finally, the artistic merit of this structure. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you the good, bad, and ugly of this beautiful wooden structure. Starting off strong with the history, this building is actually pretty new. So there was a Thai millionaire named Lek Viriathun who back in probably around the 70s started envisioning the Sanctuary of Truth, not just as a structure, but as a living testament to Eastern philosophy, religion, and art. This guy really had a vision and he had the money to back his vision. So construction began in 1981 and actually continues today. When you are walking around this building, kind of everywhere you go, you see people chiseling, hammering, carving, working on the building. There's people on scaffolding, there's people on the ground, there's sawdust. It is constantly being worked on. And that is actually by design because this ongoing process is meant to symbolize impermanence, which is a core Buddhist teaching. As beautiful as the concept of impermanence is, I wanted to cover if this noble intention justifies the questionably unethical methods used to build it. So we need to look deeper than the surface. As stunning as this building is, there are actually quite a few controversies behind it, starting with the actual design of the building. So interestingly enough, the sanctuary doesn't just represent one culture. It draws inspiration from various cultures, blending architectural styles from Thailand, China, India, and Cambodia's ancient Khmer Empire. And the Khmer people built a breathtaking set of temples called Angkor Wat, and that had a significant influence on this region of Thailand's art. So the carvings here are inspired by many cultures. I think that's really cool. You don't really see that often, to my knowledge, and it is so impressive. But what if this artistry comes at a cost? And I feel like some people might not want to hear this, but what if the beauty masks questionable practices that are ongoing to this day? So keeping this controversy in mind, there are also some ethical considerations about this location. So here's where things get complicated. The wood, where did it come from? It's constantly under construction, and concerns about illegal logging and unsustainable sourcing have been raised time and time again. We have no actual definitive proof of this, but I was hunting online using AI, using Reddit, just trying to figure out where does this wood come from, and there's a serious lack of transparency about this. What I have found is other people have also gone hunting for this information, have not found it, and many people are pretty suspicious about the source of the wood. The types of wood the sanctuary is made of does raise some concerns as well, and since deforestation is a serious problem, the sanctuary's construction could be contributing to it. Then there's the commercial aspect. The whole layout of the property seems to be designed for tourists. There are ticket booths, gift shops, and it is just like this tourist machine. And it's hard to reconcile this with the stated spiritual purpose. Is the sanctuary prioritizing profit over its supposed values? And what about the local community? I was looking into it, and apparently some locals may visit for prayer or reflection, but technically it's not a temple, and the sanctuary's primary function is a tourist attraction. So, does it truly serve the needs of the local people, or is its focus primarily on generating revenue? I don't know. There's so many different layers of ethical questions here that I personally can't even begin to answer because there's a lot that I don't know, but it just feels kind of yucky to me personally. Also, some critics argue that that mix of all of the different styles from different countries actually dilutes the cultural significance, and that it becomes more of a spectacle than a genuine representation of any specific tradition, which I think, there's a bit of a point to that as well. So these aren't just minor issues. They actually strike at the heart of why this building was created or is still being created to this day. All right, let's zoom out here. What is the bigger picture? What's the environmental impact? Think of the sheer amount of wood used here. I mean, it's right on the water. It's exposed to the elements. The wood does need to be replaced frequently. And I mean, that's literally the heart of what the building is about, impermanence.
And lastly, I want to touch on the artisans, the artists themselves and their lives. There's very little known, just like most of this. What I've learned in my research, there's a lot of questions.
What about the workers? This is a weird one. I didn't actually consider whether the workers were being treated fairly or if they were being paid a living wage. But in looking up the source of the wood, I did find some people speculating that perhaps the workers are not being treated properly. I mean, again, information is scarce, and I don't want to say anything fully, but what I did notice is there are many people online that think that the workers are not being treated properly, and I really hope that's not true, but if it is, that's really not okay. These are questions we need to ask, even if we don't have easy answers. The sanctuary cannot exist in a vacuum. It's part of a larger ecosystem, and even though this video is about this sanctuary, you could ask these questions about so many things. Construction has consequences, both intended and unintended, and sometimes it's important to think about the deeper questions about something. Yeah, it is a pretty building, but is the heart of it and the function of it ethical? The Sanctuary of Truth is a paradox. It's a testament to human creativity, but also a reminder of ethical dilemmas inherent in large-scale projects. We can appreciate the artistry, but I think it's important to acknowledge the potential harm. It's not about demonizing the sanctuary, but about having an honest conversation about its impact and about understanding the complexities and asking the tough questions. The Sanctuary of Truth is more than just a building. It's a symbol of both human ingenuity and the ethical challenges we face. It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about sustainability, cultural appropriation, and the true cost of beauty. With all this said, if you find yourself in Thailand, I actually encourage you to go check out the sanctuary and see it for yourself. Go see the incredible sculptures, the way the sun hits them in the afternoon. It is truly stunning, but go with your eyes open. Think critically about what you're seeing, and let's continue this conversation in the comments.
There you have it, the good, bad, and ugly of this incredible handcrafted building. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little tour. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.